You've probably had this thought before: men are so easy, just touch them and they're happy, right? That's what we've all been led to believe, that men are simple creatures, predictable, easy to please. But what if I told you that was a myth? What if I told you that hidden beneath that tough exterior, every man has a secret, a spot, a place, an experience that he craves, but almost never asks for? Here's the truth: men rarely talk about what they really want. They'll joke about it, they'll act confident, they'll even play the role of the one in control. But deep down, every man has something that makes his breath catch, his muscles tighten, and his heart race. And the crazy part, most women never discover it because he won't tell you. That's where you come in. Imagine this: you lean in close, your touch lingers for just a second too long, and suddenly you see it in his eyes. That flicker, that surrender, it's the look that says, she knows, she found it. And ladies, when you can create that reaction, when you become the woman who unlocks that secret pleasure, he will never forget you. Tonight, I'm going to share with you the Fady One male pleasure spot he desperately wants you to know. And more importantly, I'll give you 5 powerful ways to not just touch it, but to turn it into an experience that leaves him completely undone. So are you ready to discover what most women never learn about men? Good, let's dive in. Ladies, let's break one of the biggest myths right now. Most women think they already know a man's Fady One pleasure spot. They assume it's obvious, right there in front of you, no mystery, no puzzle to solve. And sure, that part of him is important, but here's what no one tells you. What truly drives a man crazy isn't just the obvious. It's the spots he doesn't expect you to touch. See, men are used to routine. They've been touched in the same way, in the same place, 1,000 times before. But when you shift your attention away from the predictable and explore the unexpected zones, you trigger something completely different in his mind. It's not just physical pleasure, it's the surprise, the novelty, the fact that you knew where to go when no one else did. Think about the side of his neck, that spot right below the ear where your lips can brush softly or your fingers can graze lightly. It's electric. He doesn't even realize how sensitive he is there until you give it attention. And when you do, you'll feel him shiver, you'll hear his breath change. Or the small of his back, another underrated area. Place your hand there when you're walking together and watch the way his body instantly responds. It's protective, yes, but it's also deeply sensual. It makes him feel claimed, like you're reminding him, you're mine. And don't even get me started on the inside of his thighs. Most women skip straight past it, rushing toward the main event, but slowing down here, teasing, letting your hands linger, that's what makes him ache. It's the waiting, the denial, the delicious frustration of being touched everywhere but where he thought you'd go. Here's the secret: men love the element of surprise just as much as women do. They won't admit it, but they crave a woman who makes them feel like an unexplored map, full of hidden treasures waiting to be found. When you go off the beaten path, when you show curiosity instead of rushing, you make him feel more desired, more alive than he has in years. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're with him, and instead of diving into what he expects, you start slowly. Your lips trace a line along his jaw, your fingers drift down his chest, pausing at his waistline, but then you skip past. You explore the spots that most women ignore: the back of his knees, the sides of his ribs, the soft part of his wrist. He'll be thinking, what is she doing? Where is she going next? And in that moment, you've already won. Because now he's not just receiving pleasure, he's anticipating it, craving it, but begging for it without saying a word. And here's the best part: when you focus on the unexpected, you separate yourself from every other woman he's ever been with. You become the woman who knows, the one who unlocks something inside him he didn't even know existed. That's unforgettable. That's powerful. So remember this: the Fady One male pleasure spot isn't always where you think it is. Sometimes it's in the places he doesn't talk about, the places he doesn't even know are begging for attention. And when you find those, you don't just touch his body, you touch his mind. And trust me, that's where the real pleasure begins. Here's something I want you to remember forever. Pleasure isn't just about the destination, it's about the build-up. Men might act like they're all about instant gratification, but deep down, they crave the slow burn. The truth is, anticipation is one of the most powerful tools you'll ever have in your hands. Think of it this way: if you hand someone their favorite dessert and say, "Here you go," they'll eat it, enjoy it, and it'll be over in a few bites. But if you let them see the dessert, smell it, get a taste of the sweetness before you actually give it to them, the craving becomes unbearable. And when they finally get it, the experience is 10 times more satisfying. That the ladies is what anticipation does. Men are no different. They may act impatient, but they love the game. They love when you make them wait just a little longer, when you keep them on edge, when you give them enough to want more, but not enough to have it all. That's the art of anticipation. Imagine this, you're sitting next to him, and instead of jumping straight to the obvious, you let your fingers barely graze his arm. Just a light touch, like an accident. Then you pull back. Later, you lean in close enough that he can feel your breath on his neck, but you don't kiss him. Not yet. You hover. You tease. You let him feel the possibility without giving him the reward. Do you know what's happening in that moment? His mind is going wild. His imagination is filling in the blanks faster than you ever could. And here's the secret. Sometimes the waiting is hotter than the act itself. Because when you finally give in, when you finally touch him where he's been begging you to, the release of that built up tension is explosive. It's not just pleasure, it's relief, surrender, euphoria, all wrapped into one. Now, anticipation isn't just physical, it's verbal too. Whisper something in his ear and then leave the sentence unfinished. You know what I want to do to you right now, but maybe later. That's anticipation. Send him a text during the day that says, I can't stop thinking about tonight, and then don't explain. Watch how fast he gets home. The key here, ladies, is control. Anticipation works because you're in charge of the pace. You're the one setting the rhythm, deciding when and how far things go. And let me tell you, men absolutely love when a woman takes control in that way. It makes them feel chosen, wanted, but also just a little powerless. And that's intoxicating for them. Here's a little exercise next time you're with him. Don't rush. Slow everything down. Make every touch, every kiss, every move last just a little longer than he expects. Notice how he responds. Notice how his breathing changes, how his body tenses, how his hands grip you tighter because he can't handle the waiting. That's when you know you've mastered the art of anticipation. And let me tell you something important. Anticipation is addictive. Once you show a man how intoxicating the wait can be, he'll crave it again and again. Because it's not just about the physical, it's about the mental storm you've created inside him. You've made him imagine, you've made him yearn, and you've proven that you hold the key to his ultimate pleasure. So remember this, ladies, the best experiences aren't rushed, they're savored. When you understand how to build anticipation, you don't just give him pleasure, you give him a story he'll play over in his mind long after it's over. And that, my friends, is how you become unforgettable. Ladies, let's talk about something that seems so small, but makes all the difference: pressure. When most women touch a man, they stick to one style. Either they go feather light and stay there, or they use a firmer grip and never switch it up. And yes, either one can feel good. But if you only use one, you're missing out on the magic, because the real secret to unlocking his one pleasure spot is variation. Knowing when to tease him with gentleness and when to make him feel claimed with firmness. Think of it like music. A song with only one note isn't sexy, it's boring. But a melody that rises, falls, builds, and drops, that's what keeps you listening. Pressure works the same way. It's not about how much you give him, it's about when you change it. Picture this, your fingers barely graze along his skin. He shivers, his body leaning into you, begging for more. Just as he thinks you'll go harder, you pull back again. Feather light. His mind starts racing. Why isn't she giving me more? I need it. I need her. That's when you change the rhythm. Grip tighter, press firmer. Leave no doubt that he's in your hands now. And trust me, that shift will light his nerves on fire. Men crave that contrast. The soft touch awakens his senses. The firm touch grounds him, makes him feel owned. Both matter. Both feed different sides of his desire. The softness teases his imagination. The firmness tells him, you're mine. And when you move between the two with confidence, that's when you drive him crazy. And here's a little trick. Don't just use your hands. Use your lips, your breath, your entire body. A soft kiss along his jawline, followed by a firmer bite at his neck. A whisper so delicate it tickles his ear, followed by your hand pressing into the small of his back, pulling him into you. This is pressure in action. It's contrast, it's surprise, it's sensation layered on sensation. What's happening in his head during all this? His brain can't predict you, and that unpredictability is intoxicating. Most men have been touched the same way their whole lives, but when you switch it up, when you surprise him with a softness he didn't expect or a firmness he didn't see coming, you break his routine. You show him something new. And that, ladies, is what makes you unforgettable. Another little secret: men don't just want you to touch them, they want you to show intent behind the way you touch. A firm grip says, I want you, you're mine. A light stroke says, I'm teasing you, I'm in control. Both tell a story. And when you combine them, you create a narrative he can't stop replaying in his mind. So here's what I want you to try next time you're with him. Don't just touch him one way. Start light. Let him feel like he can barely stand it. Then surprise him with a firmer hold. Watch his reaction. Notice how he leans in, how his body betrays what his mouth won't say. That's when you'll know you've found the rhythm. Remember, ladies, the real power of pressure is not in choosing soft or firm. It's in switching between them at the right moments. Keep him guessing, keep him craving, and most importantly, make him feel that every touch is intentional, designed just for him. Because when you master the art of pressure, you're not just touching his body, you're playing him like music. And trust me, he'll never want the song to end. Ladies, let me give you a truth bomb. You could touch him in all the right places, with all the right pressure, with all the anticipation in the world. But if your eyes aren't engaged, you're only giving him half the experience. Men are visual creatures, we know that. But what most women underestimate is just how powerful eye contact is when it comes to intimacy. See, it's not just about him looking at you, it's about you looking into him. Because when your eyes connect with his, you're not just turning him on, you're pulling him into something deeper. Think about it. Have you ever kissed someone with your eyes wide open, staring into theirs? It feels risky, right? Intense, almost too much to handle. That's because eye contact creates a level of vulnerability most people shy away from. But if you lean into it, if you hold his gaze while you touch him, while you tease him, while you explore his pleasure spots, it will absolutely undo him. Here's the secret. Eye contact isn't just physical, it's psychological. It sends a message. I see you. I'm here, I'm with you. And for a man, that kind of presence is magnetic. It's rare. It makes him feel chosen, desired, locked into the moment with you and no one else. Now imagine this scene. Your hand lingers on him. Your lips brush against his skin, and right at that moment, you lift your gaze and look directly into his eyes. Hold it, don't look away. Let him see the confidence, the hunger, the playfulness in your expression. Do you know what happens then? He loses every ounce of control, because it's not just about what you're doing. It's about the connection you're creating. And let's be honest, ladies, when you hold eye contact, you also put yourself in a position of power. You're saying without words, I know what I'm doing and I know the effect it has on you. That confidence is intoxicating. It tells him he doesn't just belong in your hands, he belongs under your spell. But here's the kicker: eye contact can change the mood of the experience instantly. A playful glance, a quick mischievous smile mid-touch. That tells him, I'm having fun with you, I love teasing you. A deep, smoldering stare says, this is intense. This is serious, you're mine right now. And even a soft, tender look can transform everything into something more emotional, more intimate, more connected. The way you look at him is just as powerful as the way you touch him. And ladies, let me tell you something most men won't admit. When you lock eyes with him during those most vulnerable moments, you'll see something in his expression that he shows no one else. A softness, a surrender, a boyish vulnerability behind all that masculine strength. That's the part of him he hides from the world. And when he lets you see it, that's when you know you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him trust. So here's my challenge for you next time. Don't shy away from his eyes. Don't close yours the whole time. Experiment, hold his gaze, tease him with it, switch between playful and powerful. Let your eyes tell a story while your body creates the experience. Because remember this, his body might crave your touch, but his soul craves your connection. And when you combine the two, when your hands, your lips, and your eyes all work together, you don't just give him pleasure. You give him an experience that lingers long after the moment has ended. So yes, ladies, the Find One male pleasure spot might not be where you think, but the key to truly unlocking it is right there in your eyes. We've talked about anticipation, about pressure, about surprise, and about the eyes, but let me let you in on the biggest secret of all. The most irresistible pleasure spot on a man's body isn't physical at all. It's psychological, and the trigger that sets it off, your confidence. You see, men are drawn to confidence like moths to a flame. Yes, they love the way you touch them. They love the way you kiss them, but what really leaves them undone is how sure you are of yourself while doing it. because when you touch him with hesitation, he feels it. When you kiss him like you're unsure, he senses it. But when you move with boldness, when every stroke, every look, every tease carries the weight of, I know exactly what I'm doing to you, that's when you blow his mind. Here's why most men are used to being the ones in control. They're used to setting the pace, taking the lead, steering the energy. But when you flip that script and step into your confidence, when you show him that you are in charge of his pleasure, it shocks him in the best way. It makes him feel like he's on a ride he can't get off of and he doesn't want to. Think of it like this. You walk into the room with your head high, your body language open, your touch deliberate. You don't ask for permission with every move. You own it. You command the moment. That energy says, I'm not here to hope you like it. I know you're going to love it. And trust me, ladies, he will. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about knowing that your body, your energy, your desire is enough. When you touch him like you're not second guessing yourself, when you tease him like you know he's already addicted to you, you make him believe it too. And that belief, that's the most powerful aphrodisiac there is. Now, here's the fun part. Confidence doesn't mean being aggressive all the time. Sometimes confidence is in the slowness. Sometimes it's in your ability to pause, to look him in the eye, to smirk like you know a secret. Sometimes it's in being playful, laughing as you tease him, showing him that you're having as much fun as he is. Confidence wears many faces, but all of them are magnetic. And let's be real, men don't fall for the woman who does everything by the book. They fall for the woman who owns her presence, the woman who makes him feel like he's lucky just to be there with her, the woman who, with one glance and one confident touch, can make him forget every other thought in his head. That's the woman who stays unforgettable. Here's a truth most women don't realize. When you're confident, it's not just about turning him on, it's about how you make him feel about himself. A confident woman gives a man the gift of complete surrender. She lets him drop his guard, lets him be vulnerable, lets him feel like he doesn't have to perform, he can just be. And in that space, he feels the deepest pleasure of all the freedom to let go. So yes, ladies, the real male pleasure spot isn't just the neck, the thighs, the lips, or even the obvious places. It's inside his mind. It's the way you make him feel when he's with you. And nothing unlocks that like confidence, because at the end of the day, it's not about the technique, it's about the energy. And when your energy says, I'm confident, I'm playful, I'm irresistible, and I know you can't get enough of me, he won't just feel pleasure in his body, he'll feel it in his soul. And that's what he'll never forget. Ladies, let's step back for a moment. We've covered the hidden truth that a man's Phi 1 pleasure spot isn't just one place, it's an experience. It's the surprise of finding the unexpected, the irresistible build-up of anticipation, the intoxicating rhythm of pressure, the raw intimacy of eye contact, and above all, the unstoppable power of your confidence. And here's the best part. You don't need to be someone you're not to create this. You don't need to look a certain way or have the perfect moves. What makes the difference is the energy you bring. Because when you touch him with curiosity, when you tease him with playfulness, when you own every glance and every move with confidence, you're not just pleasing him. You're giving him an experience no one else ever has. So here's my challenge to you the next time you're with your man. Try one of these 5 things. Surprise him by exploring a spot he's never thought about. Make him wait just a little longer than he expects. Switch up your pressure. Lock eyes with him when it gets intense. And most importantly, step into your confidence. Because when you do, you'll become the woman he can't stop thinking about. The woman he compares everyone else to. The woman who doesn't just give him pleasure, but gives him a memory. And ladies, that's not just sexy, that's unforgettable.